It's always an impressive week talking to these student athletes.
It is cool because not only are they going to class, also playing sports every day of the week. They have practice. They're traveling for games. It's not just at home. They got to take their stuff on the road. They're also involved in their communities and within the school. And I know we're about to talk to Taylor Soule from Virginia Tech, who just transferred there this year and has decided to get involved. And she's their representative for Unity Week, which says a lot about her character and who she is.
Yep, no doubt. Let's go to Blacksburg, Virginia. Taylor Soule joins us. Taylor, first of all, always a pleasure having you on the show.
Great name, by the way.
Congratulations on all your success in the classroom, out of the classroom, and also giving back to the community. I know that's something that's always been important to you.
Yeah, so it's been great. It's crazy to think that my time here in Blacksburg is already almost done. But it's been a blessing. And so basketball-wise, everything's really great. And transitioning from undergrad classes to now like master's classes has been different. Everything's online, which is a blessing and a curse sometimes. And just trying to figure out back at Boston College, like I was involved in some Unity stuff on campus and in the community. And so now at a new school, trying to figure out like what to get involved with. But it's been good so far.
I was going to say, I know you were active at Boston College, and when you make that transition to a new school, I mean, you go from Boston College, and Chestnut Hill is beautiful, major market in Boston, and then you go to Blacksburg, rural school out in the beautiful hills of Virginia. It's kind of cool that you went from literally one end of the spectrum to the other, but yet still found a way to give back to community.
Yeah, I think it's really been nice, again, like you said, being in Boston for 4 years, and now that I'm in somewhere that's more like my hometown. Here, okay, there we go. Somewhere that's more like my hometown. I'm from small town, not much to do, and so it's been nice to be in Blacksburg. And the people here are really genuine. They care, and so it's easy to give back. It's easy to want to get involved, and so I've absolutely loved it.
So what you've been involved in, and we saw some of those video clips, is the Love Initiative there at Virginia Tech. What's been your involvement? Why is that something you felt interested to get involved with?
I think that I like to consider myself a caring person that wants to hear other people's opinions and be in inclusive communities, but also be someone that's a positive light in them. And so knowing that Virginia Tech had this was great, and they're really passionate. It doesn't feel fake. It's genuine. There's a lot of love behind it, and so I'm just glad that I get to be a part of it.
Was that kind of a seamless transition for you?
Yeah, I feel people always say it's like who you know. And so coming to Virginia Tech, I had some connections on past mentors that I worked with like during SAC or whether it was like community service. And so they actually knew some people here who got me connected. And so it was pretty easy, but definitely have some people on my side. So that's always nice.
One thing you talked about in that last video we watched, and it was put together in honor of it being Black History Month, is just wanting to be heard, especially with the climate of today's society. Why is that so important? And why is that a message that you're trying to put out there for people to understand?
I think the idea of like being heard goes further than just when I was talking about it with Black History Month, whether it's just having more inclusion in communities, on teams, and sports in general. I think it's just really important when it comes to even like mental health in athletics to talk to people, make sure that you're listening, and just have someone in your corner that you can trust when you need someone to talk to. And so I'm glad that I have a voice and I have a platform. And so I thank you all again, obviously, for bringing me on here to kind of talk about stuff like that, because I just think it goes unnoticed. And so just wanted to bring that up.
Taylor, when you have these difficult conversations, have you found, now that you've become a veteran in this department, if you will, that the conversations are actually easier to have, or do you still find it to be an incredible challenge?
I think it obviously depends on who you're talking to and like how open they want to be. But for the most part, I feel like most of the conversations go pretty well. I like to surround myself with people that aren't always like me, but are at least willing to see where I'm coming from. And so it definitely makes conversations better and easier when we have that understanding. And so it's like, hey, I might not agree with what you're saying, but like I hear you. And so I think that's definitely made the conversations easier.
You're a mentor to the people who are listening to you now, and I'm sure there's people who come up to you and tell you that. And then you also spoke of people who've inspired you. One name you mentioned is Rosa Parks. Why is that somebody that inspires you to do what you're doing now?
So like growing up, I was adopted and I was raised in Lebanon, New Hampshire. I have a younger sister who's also African American. We have two white parents, and so living in like a predominantly white community was always interesting. But my parents made it a really important like point in our lives to remind us of like our history, and like people like Rosa Parks. And so I just love that she had an idea. She had a feeling that what she was gonna do might not change her life right then, but it was gonna change people's lives like me. And so I like to think that. I think sometimes you want to see results today, but you have to realize that like if you get 1% better every day, it'll eventually catch up to you in a positive way. And so trying to be like her, speaking up, speaking my mind, I think was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's no doubt you're a vocal leader. So, on that note, if you could pick one thing that you'd like to see changed, it might not be today, like you said, it could be in the future. What would that be? Is there something you have in mind?
Hmm. I think it still really just goes on the sense of understanding. And I think maybe show more gratitude. I think if more people showed appreciation towards whether it's things or people, and just took a step back and kind of put themselves in other people's shoes, I think we'd have a better understanding of where people are coming from and intention. And yeah, I think that'd be it.
Taylor, we've had some really great conversations with your coach, Kenny Brooks, who I know encourages players and folks that are around him to reach out. How big of influence has he been for you? I know that you've only been there for a year, making the transition from Boston College, but he has always been kind of an intellectual when he's on the program, which is always enlightening.
No, he's great. Again, another person that I'm gonna be forever grateful for bringing me here to Virginia Tech. And he's prideful in his job, what he brings to the table, not just as a basketball coach, but kind of what that entails. I think earlier in the year, March Madness may have done a piece, and I think he mentioned he understands his job is to not only like teach basketball, but also be someone for other people to look up to. He's the only African American like male coach in Power Five, which is crazy to me. And so he's always telling us to use our platform, be the change that we want to see in the world. And so it's been great to have a head coach that supports not only me, but people that look like me, and just everyone on the team in general.
On that same note, the theme for this year's Week of Unity Week is inclusion. So, if we want to talk about inclusion, yesterday's win there at Castle was the largest crowd at Castle of the Kenny Brooks era. And it was really, really cool to see. And you could tell that it mattered so much to you guys. So why, as females and women's basketball, to get that kind of pub and that love, what does that mean to you?
That was everything. I remember, uh, first of all, to any Hokie fans listening, thank you all so much for coming. Uh, you're appreciated to the max. But it was crazy, and I think it's really awesome in women's sports to see support like that. I think Hokie Nation loves to support any gender sports, but the way that they've been showing up for us these last couple games has been absolutely insane. And I think I told Coach and some of the girls, like, I've never really played in front of a crowd as big as I've been playing in Castle. And so it makes it way more fun. I always have energy, but having a crowd that also reciprocates it is that much better. And so, I mean, you see it across the board. You see it at a place like South Carolina, Indiana right now. And it's great for the sport.
They always say the most important game is the next one, and that one on Thursday in North Carolina is a big deal. I mean, we're coming down the stretch. It's been an incredible race. I mean, an amazing race on the women's side. We got Duke and Notre Dame at the top. You guys are sitting there one back, but it's a big deal coming up Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday will definitely be a big game. I know ever since we last played them, I bet both programs have been waiting for this game. But I'm ready. I know the girls are ready. We're prepared. Just working on being focused on our focus. That's something that Coach talked about this week. And so small things, taking care of your body, making the right decisions. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. It's been some fun basketball recently.
Yep, no doubt. Well, listen, again, congratulations on all your success. You are a
Yeah,
real
thank you.
inspiration for not only what you're doing, like I said, in the classroom, what you're doing away from the classroom, basketball court, the whole deal. You're the total package, and we really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate you all so much. Have a good rest of your night.
You too. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, Taylor.
Taylor